Hi, my name is Samantha Henriquez, and I'm the Executive Director for Healing Horses Kauai.
Hi, my name is Lexi Sophia Grace, and I am the Volunteer and Events Coordinator at Healing Horses.
Healing Horses Kauai has been a nonprofit organization since 2008. We've been in our current location on the Kapaa Bypass Road since 2012. Our mission is to enrich the lives of people of all abilities through equine-assisted activities and therapies to improve their physical, cognitive, social, and emotional well-being.
We also do outreach events such as taking our miniature horses to the KVMH long-term care unit and Mahelona Medical Center, where our horses will come around and interact with people and just be able to pet a horse and have something different to do with their day. It also is helpful for them to talk to them, to just change how they see and just have an incredible experience with a mini horse, which is something that I don't think we all get to see very often.
We offer several different types of activities. We have groundwork-based activities, which include grooming, feeding, and doing groundwork games. We have mounted riding lessons for abled and disabled individuals, and we have therapeutic driving lessons. We can also host birthday parties, and we can also have special group-based activities, such as our veterans and teen leadership programs.
We are currently looking for volunteers, board members, and instructors who would like to be a part of Healing Horses, as well as people who just want to come out for the day and spend some time enjoying horses and seeing what our facility is all about.
I'm going to take a moment to talk about camps. We have camps during all of the school holidays, fall break, Christmas break, spring break, and several different sessions during the summer. At these camps, we have 3 different stations: the arena and barn station, where they will get to ride the horses and learn barn skills. We have the arts and crafts station, where we synthesize horsemanship with art, Hawaiian cultural content, and a social emotional learning curriculum. And then we have the miniature horse pond and game station, where they continue with horsemanship activities with the miniature horses or therapeutic driving. And they also play Hawaiian cultural content games and horse-specific games.
We also have a program where you can adopt a horse and come out and help us basically care for it, groom it, learn the basics of horse care, as well as possibility for riding.
Other volunteer opportunities include feeding. We have feeders that come for 1 shift per week, either morning feeding or evening feeding. They can work in partners or by themselves. We have volunteers that work in the arena as sidewalkers, horse handlers, and instructors. We have volunteers that work on our facility maintenance, running weed whackers, pushing lawnmowers, painting signs, fixing leaks, stuff like that. And then we also have volunteers that help with our public relations, going to the First Saturday events and Rice Marketplace and other public venues to get the word out that we have scholarships available. We have scholarships available currently for children who are in the foster youth program and people with physical and mental disabilities, and scholarships for people who are economically disadvantaged. For more information on these scholarship opportunities, please go to our website, healinghorseskauai.org.
Yeah. Or stop in if you're on the bypass and want to come in and say hello. We are more than welcome to have you come and introduce you to all of our horses. And it's an absolutely incredible space. And if you haven't been around horses and you would love to be a part of something that is a family environment, we are always more than welcome to take people and love to see new faces. We do have a winter camp coming up from December 26th to the 29th, as well as January 2nd to the 5th. And registration for our camps begin the November 26th and that is ages 4 to 14. And that will include riding, driving, horsemanship games, and arts and crafts, just like we've said.
And I even heard rumor that Santa's going to make a visit on December 17th.
That is
2:30 to 4:30. So bring your own camera, but I hear the big man will be riding Ivan. So you can come and take your Christmas photos at Healing Horses on December 17th.
Yeah, 2:30 to 4:30. So make sure you come dressed up, bring your spirit, and we can't wait to see you.
Why don't we start by telling the folks why horsemanship works? Therapeutic horsemanship has been around since 600 BC. The Greeks have it in their literature that people were using horses for strengthening of the body and improving balance. It became really popular in the 1960s in America when an organization called NARA, which is now entitled PATH International, brought therapeutic horsemanship ideology over from Europe. Therapeutic horsemanship is most obviously known for physical strengthening. The gait of a walking horse will move a rider's hip through the same physical planes as a walking individual. So people who need to reconnect the neural pathways from their feet to their brain, people with brain injuries, strokes, cerebral palsy, the gait of the horse will start training and stabilizing the human's hips and core musculature. The muscle recruitment pattern will then stimulate the rider to have improved walking mechanics after the lesson. And unlike physical therapy, where you're using a therapy ball or a Dynaball or other dynamic surface, where you're doing 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 20, a typical riding lesson will put the pelvis through the range of motion approximately 3,000 times over the course of the lesson. So you're just getting a lot more repetitions, and you have the added benefit that it's quite motivating. It's fun. It's social. You get to work with your team, and often you get to have lessons with other people participating at the same time. So it's a very motivating, fun, rewarding, physically challenging way to strengthen your body, to improve your balance. Seniors that ride horses have proven fall reduction scores when studied. People with cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, autism spectrum, they all have improved gait, motor balance, and coordination. Therapeutic horsemanship also works for mental health and behavioral health. Many times because horses so quickly and honestly mirror what the human presents. Horses, because of their herd dynamics and their stature as prey animals, are very highly sensitive, acute smell, touch, hearing, and sight. And they can read 17 different facial cues on a human. They will respond to what their client, their rider, will present to them and mirror it back. So if you're walking all tight, that horse is going to get all tight. And that will let the participant then know, oh, horse is tight, I must be tight. And so we can then take a deep breath in and relax, and they will quickly see the horse relax. So the sheer mirroring aspect will let the participant learn about their own body language, and we can then segue that into learning about their own emotional well-being.
Yes, and at Healing Horses, we have had many people report a huge growth in confidence, anxiety levels, stress reduction, independence, and communication within themselves, being that they are working with the horses to come together and benefit.
And improving communication can even be used by speech and language pathologists. When you're riding a horse, at a walk, you can breathe at your own pace. But when we choose to put participants on the horse and move them at a trot or a canter, because of the way the horse is, let's say, moving the client, you can only breathe at certain intervals, and so you can get diaphragm control. The upright posture that is required to stay balanced and centered on the horse also improves the core muscles and the muscles that are available for speech. So we can actually see a great deal of improvement in communication, verbal communication, in addition to the improved nonverbal communication that they get when the horse mirrors their own body state. One of the great activities for learning your body, your nonverbal communication, is the groundwork games.
She's gonna drive her back in a game called the yo-yo. And then she will invite her in. Good girl. Now she will porcupine.
I'm gonna do one of the porcupine backs.
One of the porcupine backs, one of the porcupine hind, and one of the fore. Porcupine is where you're communicating with gentle pressure, physically touching. Very little energy into that stick, and she turned.
So, I don't love this, but I'm gonna try this one. So she goes forward.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I like to do is this, and I'd relate it to the hand and to the pressure.
No going forward. Nice. And
Then back. These are pretty.
And all of this is just her using her facial expressions and her body cues to make the horse dance with her. Very nice. She can even make her go out on a circle.
Walk on. Kiko, walk on. Go. Trot, trot.
And that position of her body got the horse to stop and turn in. Now she can change direction.
Kiko, trot, trot.
Ginger will bend and get her to stop. Once she gets her to walk, there we go, the walking gait. From the walk, Ginger will get her to go back up to the trot and get her to stop and turn in just with her body position. Very nicely done.
And we start with groundwork because the bond that you create with a horse transfers over to the bond that you have while riding. A lot of people find it very intimidating to mount and go on a horse that is 1,000 pounds and can take off at any given moment. So preparing yourself at the groundwork and the base level, and then getting on and learning the cues, learning how the horse responds to you, how every movement that you make is the horse feels and will take that upon what they are doing. A lot of times we have our kids that get on the horse and are moving around and they have to calm down and come back to center, and that allows them to change their own understanding of what they are doing, as well as working with an animal that is much larger than you and very exciting.
We also try to teach our clients about the animal behaviorism which then also will teach them about human behaviorism. One of the items that I love to reflect upon is this bell curve that shows the horse's fight or flight response. If the horse is always doing the same activity every day, that is called doing the status quo. They do not have any fight or flight in them. They're in the rest and digest mode. When we give them a little bit of a challenge, we do a little bit of pressure, and then when they do what we're asking, we release the pressure, do a little bit of pressure, and then release the pressure. We can move into the zone that they will be learning from. And oftentimes, a horse will lick and chew when they are learning this new skill. However, if we then push them too much, if we overface a horse, that's the horsemanship word there, if we push them too hard, just like if we push a human too hard and ask them for perfection right off the bat, we can push them into the shutdown mode. In the shutdown mode, this actually has a physiological response. They'll feel all the symptoms of anxiety. Their heart will race, their breathing will increase, their cortisol levels will increase. They will increase in their epinephrine levels. They will feel anxious. So in the horse world, we can then model that with the horses. If the horse is getting the stress responses where they're spooking and bucking and rearing and not participating, we can say we need to dial it back. We need to put them back into their right brain, their rest and digest frame of mind, get them to calm down. And our participants will then also realize that humans go through these same stages, and if we just breathe and center or meditate or exercise or do a hobby or contribute to the community in some way, we can bring that stress level back down and get back into the helpful learning zone. With the clients, we also educate them that if a horse has no stimulation whatsoever, they can pick up vices. They can do windsucking, cribbing, kicking, and generally be obnoxious, just like humans do when they are understimulated. They can pick up bad habits and bad attitudes. And if you completely understimulate them, they can even pick up the stress hormones related, very much like when they're in the shutdown from too much stimulus. You can go into shutdown mode from too little stimulus as well. And so this bell curve reflects how the physiology and the animal and human behaviorism and the psychology all intersect. We also teach them that when we're working with a horse, we have to be the leader of that horse. And it's greatly shown through especially the groundwork games, where you have to meet the horse at the appropriate energy level, where you can ask the horse, you can ask a little more firmly, you can command the horse or you can demand it of the horse. But when you build that bond between you and your horse partner, you can get it at the first ask, the finger waggle, and they will move backwards. If you ask too much, you can become authoritarian, where you're ask, but you're not reading the cues from the horse or the person you're working with, and you will push them into shutdown mode. If you don't ask at all, you can be indifferent, and the horse will get away with anything. If you spoil the horse, you're indulgent, They're going to be a naughty horse and just start eating everything out of your backpack and out of your pockets. But if you get the correct amount of energy level, you can become authoritative, where you're emotionally dexterous and responding to the communication that the animal is giving you and you are giving the animal. So it's the perfect balance of demand and responsiveness or caring. And so we can teach this emotional progression, how to be a leader, while also obeying the bell curve and making sure we meet them at the appropriate level in the learning zone. And so all of this education about how animals respond, the animal behaviorism, actually helps them learn about their own psychology and the human behaviorism.
And we do realize that this is a lot of information, and the more time you are with healing horses or just around horses in general, learning every day, you will become accustomed to the knowledge and understand how horses and people interact. We do have a volunteer orientation coming up here soon, December 9th from 2:30 to 4:30, and that will be covering our basics and welcoming you into the team. And then we do have our second training the next day, December 10th, same time, 2:30 to 4:30, and that will be covering more of the mounting, dismounting, groundwork, and a little bit more in the depth training and what you would be doing on a typical volunteer day. We are also taking donations. We are tax deductible, and we have a Christmas wish list. If you do have any items laying around, or even apples, carrots, you can take a look at our website and see what we are looking for. We're always welcoming and appreciative of every little bit of help and support that we can get in all forms.
So again, our website is healinghorseskauai.org. You can sponsor a rider, sponsor a horse, or donate items that are on our wish list. Again, healinghorseskauai.org.
That is also where you can find more information about our camps, lessons, booking events such as birthday parties, as well as just all around information about what healing horses is, what we do, and where we would like to be. If you would also like to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and pretty soon here at YouTube, we will be out there so you can follow our journey and be a part of it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.